Good evening, Leo. Give me 1 sec. Ah, nice. Give me 1 second. I'm just closing up crap. Where is this main? JC, good evening. Manuel, good evening. Leo. Let me make sure everything's fine. Here it is. Cool. How are you guys doing? How's life? Just close up this useless garbage here. Okay. Let's actually see what happened with those windows. Ah, so this one here. What is this? Ah, shit. That's not what we want. Okay. Give me just 2 seconds. Ah, I see. I see. Give me 2 seconds here. Cool. Let me just fix another thing here on the other screen. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a really bad weather here in Copenhagen as well. Like really, really bad. So I fully feel you. It's the same here. 1 more second and then we start hacking. I just need to put this chat all over the place so I don't have to look at the top screen. And in fact, what I actually want to do, give me 1 moment. So I actually do want to do this. But how do I want to resize the window. No, not like that. Not like that. Wait, can I do this? Ah, beautiful. This is exactly what I want to do. And let's just put it here so we can see. Let's also do it like this. Amazing, okay. And then lastly, oops, shit. That's certainly not what I wanted. Come on. All right, well. Okay, so something like that. And let's drag it here. All right, great, cool. Yeah, it's been really shitty. It's been really shitty lately, I agree. At least here in Copenhagen. I don't know, super cold and rainy and stuff. I don't know. It seems summer is already long gone here. It's like a winter time here now. Not literally, but I mean, you need a jacket and stuff like that. Yeah, kind of sucks. I don't know. Felt the summer was too short. I mean, yeah, this is kind of, let's call it north, right? So this is expected, right? I got it, got it. Negative temps are all the time. Shit. Crazy. Gamers, good evening, buddy. How's life? All right. Good, man. Good. Just started stream like what, 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is old. Yeah. Kirill, good evening, buddy. Abdi, good evening, everybody. Yeah, a lot of people are showing up. Very nice. Good guys. Very good. Let's continue. So last night we finally managed to do the images and stuff, so that now works. So let's clean that up. Let's clean that up nicely, and then we kind of see. Okay, so this is very good to hear, man. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you very much, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, let's clean up now. So finally, we had a breakthrough last night with this stuff, and that's really good. So let's now break things out into things. So let's get rid of this and that. So I'm going to move things around a bit. So I'm actually going to move this stuff to the utils here. So we're going to kind of localize this type of stuff. So I'm just going to say, hey, get rid of that. We're going to add this here, right? And we're going to call this here. Let's call this, and then we can also unit test this. We should unit test this anyway, and we will. So let's now basically we have to clean things up, right? So get tags. So let's say here, tip tap utils dot this. Get images from tip tap state, right? Yes. And then we have this thing, content with images. So we should probably move that there as well to that class that we just wrote, right? So let's kind of get over here. What the fuck? Ah, we'll have to get rid of that actually, yeah. So I'll actually get rid of this. So let's see if the code fails. It does. That's good. All right, super. We're going to delete that file. And then let's get back here again. And let's put this here. So we're going to say, hey, get rid of that. Content with images. So we'll need to call this somehow. Let's call this const. Let's call this replace. Sorry, no. Let's call this. One second. So basically here, this is the time when we actually replace all the base64 images with the actual URLs, Cloudflare URL. So let's call this get tip tap state with Cloudflare images. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. If we get a better idea, then we'll use it. Right now, we don't have it, so we will not do that. And where was this parsed? Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciated. So this body will actually, so let's just call this tip tap content, and then here we'll say const tip tap content string, and then here we'll say actually, yeah, parsed. So we'll basically do this, and then we'll further on, we're gonna do one more round of cleanup. We'll see if we need it. So for now, we need to do it step by step, right? So we do something like that, and then we import this file. And what are those images? So we need to pass some images here. Where are those images coming from? Images, So let's pass it that, and then we'll see. Okay, right, yeah. And why is this asynchronous? This should not be asynchronous. So get tip-tap state with Cloudflare images. I don't like the name though, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. So now all of this crap can be replaced by, so let's say here, const content with images is that. And then we're gonna say body.content and images. Ego, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. Tip tap utils. And what is it complaining about? Directory. I know. I think I know. I think here we're missing something. So that should be good now. All right. So let's see now. So we get the images. We do the batch upload. We do that. We do this. So let's actually see if this is going to work or if we have messed something up. So let's go to the front end and let's type some stuff. Let's add an image in here. And let's another one in here. See, already did we mess something up or did we not? Yeah, still works. That's great. Still works. Beautiful. Okay. So that's good. Let's go back. Let's keep on smashing that so we can get rid of this thing from here. So we get the content. Don't drop the database. Good evening, buddy. How are you? So what I'm actually going to do just to reduce the parsing, right? So let's call this tip tap content as JSON. It's hard to name those things as, yeah. Exactly. Naming things is hard, right? Okay, images, content with images, get tip tap state with Cloudflare images, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's try that once again. Just to see if we're actually parsing the right thing now, and then we'll keep cleaning that up. Yeah, so we did mess up exactly that part. So let's see what the hell did we mess up. The content is JSON. It's probably this, right? We no longer have to parse that, right? I suppose so. see if that was it though. No. I see, okay. So here we're, I think, expecting the whole state and not the content, okay? Try that again. Okay, now it worked, that's good. All right, good. Okay, great. Okay, so we have this content with images, get tip tap, it takes in the JSON, and then the images. Yeah, that's maybe slightly unclear here. So let's check this batch as well. So let's give this to ChatGPT and tell it to rewrite it. So this one we're gonna offload to our consultant here called ChatGPT. Write this in a more functional way without that for loop. All right. La 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 la. Exactly. Serious lot. Yeah, I'm just naturally like a robot. I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing though. I guess it's both. All right, let's kind of try this again, just making sure that this crap works. So cool, man. Yeah. Now let's slam this fella over here again. Let's put something. Save that. All right, beautiful. So it still works. That's good. Let's just. So what I'm actually going to do. So I guess we do. Okay, so now is the time. So we have the batch upload. We're using it here. And if the batch upload actually fails, so essentially, so if we fail here, right, we want to stop, right? We want to respond with something, right? And now what we want to respond with is now questionable, right? And that would really depend on what type of error it is, right? But I think I'm not going to go crazy in that sense, figuring out, why the image upload failed, because we're going to do validation before we reach this point anyway, right? So in simple words, if we fail here, we're going to ensure that if we fail here in the batch upload, it's not due to validation. So if we even start uploading, that will have to mean that the image size and whatever is proper, right? So good evening, Panosa, my friend. Oh, super happy to see you, man. What we could further on try here is to make this recursive. So if the image tries to, so if the image fails, so what we could do here is like, if this fails, if we fail also to remove previously uploaded image, we could just have some sort of few attempts just to have a recursive function. So let's tell that to ChatGPT, right? I would like to have some sort of recursion in case that the removal of an image fails, meaning I'd like to attempt 5 more times, otherwise give up. Okay, so that's great. So let's just clean it up. Let's keep cleaning it up. Batch upload. And let's do a bit of like Go type of stuff, right? So Panose, it's a good question. I do have some rate limiting, right? But I'm not quite sure. It's a very good question, right? Jesus fucking Christ. I have this error logging decorator. Give me 2 seconds. Let me go. So I did I did a lot of nice work a couple of days ago off stream, and it was actually, I must admit, very enjoyable. I did so much work in like 1 or 2 hours when I wasn't streaming. I literally replaced the whole project with a lot of nice stuff. And one of them was this. So here, let's say a batch upload error. Someone needs to make website that is less automatic. If you want to post something on a forum, then we'll do it. Software as a service. Well, not really. No, I mean it doesn't really fall into that category of software, right? Okay, so let's see here. So hey, if there's a batch upload error, so this errored out, we want to stop, we want to do this. Now, I actually do want to send the actual error that occurred, right? So that's imperative, right? So we know what the error is here. So Cloudflare images client, batch upload. I think also this, we can call it image client, image upload, image HTTP client, image service or something like that. Images service. sounds as secure as programmer network. Sounds as secure as programmer network. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, great. So far we've actually moved things properly around. That's beautiful. We'll need to unit test those things here. I really want to unit test those things, so we're gonna do that in 1 second. So we'll have unit tests here. So DS Legends, thank you very much, buddy. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much for liking and supporting this project, man. Very much appreciated. So we're gonna write unit tests for this in a second. Obviously, we're not gonna write them manually, right? We're gonna use ChatGPT for that. No. I mean, of course we're gonna validate them. Of course we're gonna validate them, Panosa, right? I mean, you cannot do that with the avatar, right? So we're gonna do the same what we did with the user avatar, right? So of course you can't. So we're gonna have the limit. And so right now we're not there yet. We're doing it right now, yeah. Ben, good evening, buddy. So that's what this stream is gonna be partially about. It's just finalized. That's why I'm just rounding up now. So last night we finally finished this. Now we're just cleaning up, right? How long have you been working on this project? I think several months, but again, 99% of it was done inside of the stream, right? So I rarely, unfortunately, have the time to do it off stream, and I'm hoping one day. No. I mean, if you want, I can give you a bit of history of the project. So indeed, it's very true that me and my friends, when I lived in Sweden 8 years ago, I believe, we bought this domain, programmer.network, on a hackathon. I was on a boat between I was on a boat between Sweden and Denmark, so we were on a hackathon for 2 days on a big ship. And so the idea started like very long ago, like 8 years ago when I lived in Sweden. But back then, so this version of Programmer Network has nothing to do with that at all. This was created all from scratch, when I started streaming. I actually might have. Well, I think so. So the stream here, right, is the business model in a way, right? Because think about it this way. We're gonna migrate to TypeScript at one point, 100%. I don't know when. When I feel that the time has come, we'll migrate for sure, right? But the hardest thing with projects like this is like, how do you get people, right? And I think this really played out really well because we have 600 or 700 people who signed up already, and it's all through this, right? It's all through Twitch, really. So all of this 600-700 people I think we have that signed up is right. I don't think that I'm gonna ever stop streaming because it kind of grew on me, right? I think it's super fun and I keep meeting great people, right? But I don't give a shit about streaming in that sense. I don't want to be any influencer of that kind. I just want to share common sense. That's all. So any videos that I'm eventually going to record for YouTube or whatever, it's always going to come, out of my robotic mind. Because I'm not a fan of those influencers and shit, because most of those people just talk crap. They don't do anything. They don't build those things that they tell you to build. They don't use those technologies, right? It's like one of you, someone last night mentioned this Qwik or whatever, right? Like quick, what was it? Qwik, right? Someone last night mentioned like this, right? And I'm sure that person who mentioned it didn't use it. So this is the fundamental thing. Seriously, like let me tell you let me give you an advice. If you haven't used something yourself, and if you haven't used it in production especially, don't mention it or don't talk about it or don't suggest it at the very least, right? Because a lot of people today, especially JavaScript community, is very prone to that. Some fucking asshole reads an article somewhere and then he starts saying, hey, why are you not using, this new state library? Well, did you use it? Yeah, where? In a Hello World app? Like what, you have just, you wrote a Hello World app and now you're like, if you want to suggest something, you have to use it in production. Nobody gives a shit that you built a to-do app in 2 hours. That says nothing about the technology, right? So unless you have used something in production and you have experience behind it, it's meaningless to suggest like this thing, like someone suggested this. Well, have you used it? No. Well, why are you suggesting it then? Because of the title, because it says deliver instant apps at scale. That's why you would suggest, right? So exactly. But I'm never going to suggest you something I haven't used in production at work. It took me, so right now at work, we are using Tailwind. I used Tailwind for 9 months for Programmer Network until I made up my mind. So it took me 9 months to fully really and I really love Tailwind. I think it's a beautiful utility library and I really love it. But no, Numinex, we're done. We're done. But use it for yourself, see how it works, then suggest it to others. Numinex, no, we're finished with that. We're now just cleaning up the code and stuff. That's finally done, man. That's finally done. Create user. What the fuck is this? When did I write this? Cloudflare download this array buffer. Actually, if you knew what the issue was, it was pretty depressing. Like super hilarious. Of course, Kirill, I saw that you wrote you're happy. Feel free to start, TypeScript migration in API. I urge you to start switching whenever you want, right? So you don't have to wait for me or anything like that, right? So if you feel like doing it, be my guest, take the responsibility and do it, right? You have complete right to do that if you want, right? And deal, man. What was it? Basically, we didn't remove. So basically, we didn't remove the metadata from base64 image. Base64 image has like as first few characters, it has this data slash what data colon image png whatever. So that was part of the base64 string, and then when you convert base64 string with that stuff in it, the file is invalid. It's corrupted basically. Yeah, I mean that's what it is, man. That's how it is, and it's good. It's fine. I just fucking wonder if any of this is even necessary. I literally wonder if any of this is really needed. But we're gonna clean that up as well. I don't think it's SEO. Vlog video. Little Leon. Good evening, my friend. Little Leon is my best man. He's my best friend. Okay, let's go. Ah, shit. Do we have tests set up here? Fucking this project. I don't know if we have. Because we have tested. Ah, shit. I love you, man. Thank you. Let's see how am I testing. So we have fully tested this library we wrote, right? And how did we do that? What did I use? I used jest, right? Well, actually, we do have some tests in the API, right? It's just I think I'm using tap. Lottie onion, exactly. His son. Oh no, fuck! I closed the project. Beautiful. I like that when that happens. Just lovely. Backend. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Let me shut up. I want to code now. Come on, man. Why are you not showing me this? Oh, so hard. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's screw tests for a minute now. Let's just see what else do I wanna. I'm just so I just don't give a shit so much about Twitch like things that I really wish someone can help with that, because I never uploaded any emojis yet or any shit like that, right? Literally been streaming for a year almost, haven't done anything. Dropped the database. Thank you, buddy. All right. Okay, so let's see, upload base64 image. So if this fails, right? So let's kind of, shit. Let me just see what I want to do, right? And this is also not uploading a base64 image. So also the name of this shit isn't correct anymore, right? I'm just thinking here because this is not. So I mean, this thing right now is also uploading a buffer, right? So it's not really uploading an image, right? So I don't know how to name this, right? So what I'm literally going to do, right? I'm literally going to. I don't know how to name this, right? I just don't know how to name this. Give me 1 second. Vakuri, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for follows, subs, and all of that stuff. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Okay, that's easier now. I don't have to think about a function name. There's nothing harder than caching and naming things. Those two things are painful like shit, man. Nothing more painful than that. Okay, so let's see what can we do here. So we promisify all this. Yeah, I mean, caching things exactly. Caching something is fine indeed, but then everything from that moment on is painful. I mean, yeah, that's true. But it seems that I triggered a few people who also suffered with caching. Oh my fucking god, it's so hard, man. It's hard keeping one state in check. Now you have two or more that have to be in sync. Jesus, man, so hard. I removed so much stuff from Redis, even from this project, because it was just not worth it. It was not worth the suffering. There you go. Panosa is right. Well, actually, to our defense, right? So Kirill and I, we have built this notification system, right? And actually, Redis is perfect for that. Let me show you. Our notification system is not like a PubSub or it doesn't have any messaging system like RabbitQL. We don't have any queues, right? We don't have anything fancy. And the reason why we can do that, right, is because this is the magic of our notification. Why our notifications are actually pretty efficient, I would say, right? Because what I do in Redis, right, what I cache in Redis is just the hash tables of resource IDs to their title or whatever, right? So you can see here we have articles, we have a hash table of ID of an article, and then the value is the title or whatever, or a slug, right? And we have the same here. We have user ID of the user to the user username and stuff. That's why in our notification system, right, when you get a notification, we just get a lot of those maps from Redis, and then we can evaluate, we can translate those resources, the IDs, to the actual whatever user-friendly things. So our notification system basically doesn't even fetch necessarily much from Postgres at all, right? It's just we just get the notifications, then we map them against the Redis thing, and I think it's super nice. So it's a super primitive system. Again, we don't cover failure. There's no retries. There's no queues or anything like that, and I think it's working perfectly fine for now, right? So it's not really like some fancy, super complex thing, but it's clever because, yeah, you can see here I get all my mappings from Redis, and then we evaluate, who is the actor. If there is an actor, well, then give me the actor's username. This is going to be like actor either and stuff like that, right? So it's pretty simple, but pretty clever, I would like to say. Okay. So yeah, so we can see here that no matter what, if this errors out, and that's what I want, I just want to revert back. So think about this as some sort of a transactional thing. If any of the images fail, I want everything to fail. And then I want to clean up the images, right? And what I asked ChatGPT is to write basically, but I don't think I actually need that, but we can have a delete with retry, right? And we could also have an upload with a retry, but actually, you know what? Let's not go that crazy right now, right? Because I don't actually care that much, right? pretty much Penosa. Try or rollback. Exactly. Exactly. That's pretty much what's happening, right? Now, the only thing that I'm almost sure that we don't need is the stream and stuff. I don't actually think that we need to do a lot of this in here. And I'm not quite sure if I want to mess with this now. Let's just actually make sure that this still works, though. So let's try to reply this XHR. Let's make sure we didn't fuck things up. No, we didn't, so it still works. Okay, great. And we're not going to allow images inside of the thoughts, I think. Anyway, we'll have to make that decision. Okay, so what else can we... So this batch upload is kind of okay now, I think. The only thing that's... Yeah, so what I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to say app.send batch upload. So actually, yes. So this is how I do this a go away, right? So here I'm getting either images or an error, and then I'm logging this to my Grafana, right? So that's actually good. Let me just 1 second. I haven't checked the Grafana today. I had a lot of work at work. Let's just check our low-key logs, because I also worked on the logs off stream, and as you can see now, I get very... So now I get I only get 400 and 500. So I wrote a query here that just... So we can see that we're actually getting... Okay, I'm aware of this error, and this happened actually a few minutes ago. So let's say last 12 hours. So someone's token has expired, and then I'm aware of this error. I just haven't fixed it yet. So you can see basically I'm using my low-key now almost as Sentry, right? I don't want to pay for Sentry. So now, yeah, I'm actually aware of all of those errors. This one, I don't know actually what it is. Users controller 399. 399. Okay, so something's failing here. So, but basically, just for those of you who actually I haven't shared, like, so yeah, so basically what I do most of the time off stream, I'm just keeping an eye on this, on my low-key now, and whenever some of the errors that I'm unaware of happen, I just fix it. And this serves me almost like centric.js or any error reporting thing, right? For the API. Of course, I can't do this for the front end, but so it's super useful. And it's pretty simple, actually. I think my query is fairly simple. If we go to code, the query basically looks like this. I format the line, and then message, and then I get the requested URL, and then I'm looking for the messages that have the error.message in there. So that actually finally became... are you planning to monetize? I mean, hopefully. I mean, again, right? The thing is, of course, that a lot of the things would be ideal and great, right? But I'm more of a person who's focusing on the problems now, then, right? And everything can be monetized if you build something that people use, right? So I have a different perception of that. I feel that if you build a service that people use, there are always various ways you can monetize this. I could monetize it on a developer level. I could monetize it on recruiting level. We can implement some recruiting dashboard, so people can, agencies can work. So there's various things you can implement. So that I'm not worried about that. Blue badge for $500 a day, right? No, but jokes aside, I'm not worried. Monetizing things isn't hard when you have a user base that's using your product, right? So it's really, you need to build a value of some kind, and I'm still building this product for myself, genuinely. I started building this platform for myself, and my perception is I need to make it useful to myself, and then hopefully then other people of the same profession gonna find it useful, right? So in simple words, you can monetize anything if you have the users. If you don't have the users, then you can't monetize anything, right? Exactly. Easy. So monetizing things is not hard if you build something of value, right? So this is going to run. This is just going to check, hey, is there any image? If there's no images, just return the element. So that's fine. Because yeah, let's just write a regular stuff without any images, right? Just to make sure that that still works, right? It should just neglect the fact that there's no images in there, right? Yeah, okay, that's great. Okay, beautiful. So the only thing that I would like to do is actually test this, and yeah, I would really. I mean, I don't care. I for the most part, I care when it comes to unit tests, right? I mostly unit test my utilities. Everything else is either end to end or I don't test, right? So unit testing React components and stuff is fucking useless, right? Um, so I would like to unit test this stuff, right? For sure. Oh, wait, Rion wrote something. I'm planning to start my own React project in a few weeks after my final exams. I've been working extensively with Angular and have a lot of love for the. I mean, reactive programming is nice, right? I've also worked with RxJS and a lot of that stuff. I like it, right? I mean, what is this called? What is it called? Not stencil.js. Uh, Promise API is beautiful. I love promises, right? I love promises. I like async and await. I think they're both very nice APIs, and sometimes I use one, sometimes I use the other, depending on the context. But yeah, I think it's a very nice API. Yeah, I'm a beginner. When you're programming API, do you connect and disconnect from database per each request? You do not. You do not, Ricker. So databases usually use connection polls, right? So there's always some connection poles opened, right? So you don't disconnect and disconnect, right? There's always some connection poles opened, and how many connection poles should be opened really is per project, right? So 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 if you could ask me, okay, how many of those should be opened at a time? That depends on your traffic and a lot of. I'm not an expert in that field, right? I'm not an expert in scaling databases, so my knowledge there is pretty marginal, right? Um, but yeah, why is this called tip tab? This should be called tip tab utils. Oops. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Again, I mean, a lot. The thing is in programming, right, Tricker? That's where I think the only actually place where knowing some data structures in programming is useful is things like this, right? Knowing what a queue is, knowing what a stack is, right, and stuff like that. But in simple words, a lot of it just repeats itself, right, across places, right? Now, I mean, okay, so the only question now here, though, right, is the only question now here is, do we want to try catch this, right, or do we want it to fail? So that's why I hate exception handling in JavaScript, right? That's the only actually thing that I dislike about JavaScript is the error handling. The exceptions are just a pattern I would ban forever. I would not allow this pattern to exist. And I would do error handling like in Go, where you have to return an error or a response from every function. I don't know why I'm actually not just writing that in JavaScript as well. Why am I relying so much on the language? But anyway, exception handling is just fucking horrible, right? I mean, Kirill, you don't have to necessarily ban those people, right? If they want to advertise right themselves like that, if I'm actually fine with that, right? That's not gonna get you viewers anyway. Nothing can really get you viewers, right? You're either fun to someone or you're not. So if you're boring, you can spam your fucking channel in the whole internet. Nobody cares, right? So the only thing is, do I want to safeguard myself against this or do I not? That is the ultimate question, right? Do I want this to silently fail? I actually don't, right? Because the thing is, yeah, actually, nah, that's the problem, right? We don't want to try catch here, right? Or in fact, we do want to try catch, right? And then maybe we want to explicitly throw again, just, but no, yeah. So we actually want to fail here, right? Let's just fail, right? So let's revert this. It's kind of, yeah. It's we don't want to. It's you have to. We gotta be careful what we silently swallow or not, and what not, right? So okay, let's just do this, right? So let's actually, just leave it. Let the consumer, the caller, handle this failure of this, right? So I think fundamentally that's better, because then we will know that something has actually failed, right? It's just a actually, give me 1 second. Let me go and let me just update this crap, because literally every stream I get asked the same thing, and I'm just being lazy to update this message. Because give me 1 second. Let me just how do I do that? Fuck, I forgot. Where was it? Cloudbot, I think. Yeah, yeah. Commands. No, no, it's not the right one. That's the wrong one. That's why I need to update. That's the wrong one, apparently. One of the viewers told me that is the wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. So hard. I had to go and log in here for 2 seconds and then do it. Oh my god, never again. Never again. So hard to do that. Okay. What did I want to do? All right, so that's that. Yeah, so we're okay. So let's. What else do we have to do? So again, writing tests for this would be very nice. Um. All right, so that's all good, right? Numinex. Actually, I have a video for that. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Give me 1 sec. Well, actually, I am an asshole. I keep saying, I constantly say every day I'm not trying to be an asshole. And I've actually caught myself doing that. And then I realized that I actually am an asshole, right? Because if a person constantly keeps saying this shit, then you probably are an asshole, right? So I am actually an asshole. So just forget about that. But let me try to find a video. Yeah, here it is. There you go, buddy. And thank you everybody for your follows. That's the video. There's the video. Thank you guys. Slade, good evening. Yes, I am using TipTap. Yes, yes, I'm using TipTap. Yeah. Obi, good evening, my friend. Okay, great. So, so the last thing that we have to do is some validation, right? The just as we're doing in uploading the avatar, right? And we can't obviously validate this on a level of okay. Slade, I mean, I can tell you one thing. For 1 year of streaming now, almost nothing has been harder than rich text editing, right? So they're all equally good and equally bad, right? So I've used the draft.js, then they deprecated it, then we switched, then we tried lexical.js, then that's as horrible as draft. So what can I tell you? I mean, it's hard, right? I do like it. It's just draft.js has left scars on my soul, right? Because I learned it and I wrote a lot of custom code for it, right? And then you go to fucking GitHub and you realize that Facebook just said, well, you know what, we're just deprecating that crap, right? But generally it's hard, right? It's not. Why is it hard? Because it's not actually even hard. I must admit. It's just. I know I'm contradicting myself here a bit. I'm aware of that. It's just. It just requires time, right? It's almost like learning another language, right? You need to learn the API. You need to learn all of the functions. You need to think in a certain way. I think TipTap is nice, as long as it remains. Supported and maintained and stuff, because that's the only thing I really care about. I actually even liked draft.js. I started liking it because you realize that you start liking something once you understand it, right? Of course, you hate everything that you don't understand, and then at the moment when I felt, oh, I actually like this now, they're like, by the way, we are deprecating it, right? Markup is not sufficient. No, I mean, I have a lot more grandiose plan for our text editor than just what we have now, right? You have to understand, like, you have to choose those technologies. I mean, content editing, social network is all about content. So you have to pick something that you can scale with feature-wise long term, right? So this is not about, this is not about shared thought, right? I'm not using TipTap because of this, right? But because of ability to implement various other components, et cetera, right? Well, Kirill, I mean, for example, a lot of custom components. I want to have a table, a comparison table. Like if I go to my blog, right? For example, if I go to my very old blog, right? I don't know. If I find, this is just random shit. I want to have a table like this, for example, right? So when you're writing an article, you can make a comparison of two things, right? I want to have a bunch of custom components that users could use when they're writing shit, right? To enhance the writing experience. So um, you can articulate yourself not just through plain text, but also through some of the components that would help you share your idea better, right? Then a custom quote component, right? I think we already have that designed somewhere, right? Etc. There's so just in general a lot of custom stuff. So not just bold or italic or heading, right? I have tried vertical monitor like a decade and a half ago, yeah. All right, so okay. So next thing is validation, right? Um, so we have to write so right now we have to write some sort of a, there's no such thing as vertical monitor. You just take a normal monitor and you turn it vertically. I don't know that vertical monitor exists. All monitors that you buy, you can do them 90 degrees, right? All right, so let me shut the fuck up now. I need to do some work, right? I don't like vertical. It's completely illogical to me. No. Chica, my friend. Good evening. Kaimak.js. Okay. So let shut the fuck up, guys. Okay. You're talking too much. Fucking annoying people. I'm just kidding. I'm actually not kidding. I'm saying that you guys are annoying, and then to my defense, I'm saying that I'm kidding, but I'm actually not kidding. Oh, Alex, you're so rude. How dare you? Okay. Where am I using this spell? Ah, okay. And how am I using it? Oh, actually, shit, this is good. I already have it, right? So I already have a validator that validates the meme type. So that's good. That's good, right? Did someone just... Are you fucking kidding me, man? Did someone just shit on me? They did. They did. No, wait, that's a wrong link. Wait. What the? Oh my god, dude. This is hilarious. What? Is this real? Is this like not a joke? Okay. I mean, imagine you play Counter-Strike or some shit on this thing, right? You know, you see like this. Anyway, okay. You guys are so annoying. Okay. You see your feet and sky at the same time. Exactly. All right, guys. So let me focus now here. How do I validate the file size of a buffer, or worst case, a base 64 image? Shut up. Oh my god, they're triggering me for no reason. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is actually really good. This is perfect. This is beautiful. This is perfect, amazing, beautiful, perfect. Yeah, I remember Panosa you talking about it before. I remember when you told me when we did some security stuff. If you remember, you told me. Alex, why not use the file size? What do you mean by file size approximation? It could be confusing if the user uploads a specific file and you say it is. I'm not sure what you mean. Can you elaborate? Let me see. Oh, to convert the size to megabytes, you could use. Yeah, I mean, sure, man, we can do it. I mean, I didn't decide that I'm going to use this or that, right? I just want to see if I can use one of the existing decorators that I've wrote before to smack this in, right? So this is going to give us a file type, right? Okay. Write my Fastify JS decorator. So it also validates the image extension and the image size. Yep. No, not really Numinex. No, I don't think so, honestly. I think, no. I think pretty much the only thing we did was this, but which I already had. But of course, we have to use it for generic type of shit. I'm not gonna write this manually. No chance. That would be. I don't honestly care about resolution, right? Because I'm gonna contain that in CSS, right? I just care about the size. Resolution can be 5 million by 5 million if you can smack that in, let's say, 100 kilobytes, right? Yeah, for sure. Marv, good evening, buddy. Ben, good night, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. What's the mystery, Marv? What's the mystery? Share it with us. Maybe we can help you. ArrayJS, thank you very much, buddy. Actually, I'm gonna just globally in the project accept images of those types. So actually we can omit that completely. For now. Okay. And fuck, we need to export this from some const file, so we have to do that. Simple styling issue. I don't know where to put this for now, so I'm not gonna lose my sleep of it as always until we do know where to put it. So I'm just gonna put it in that, and then at one day in one stream we're gonna break down those utils into something meaningful. Right now they're messed up, and I know that, but I don't care. I do not care actually. All right. Let me just read what Marv wrote. No, Marv, no, there's no such thing as layout should be done on the parent component. Such concept doesn't exist. So you either, and I know it sounds silly, didn't import those CSS files to your specific components, or I don't know, but the best thing you can do is share the code with us, share the snippet of code, and then we can help you out, right? The best thing you can do is just share code with us. It's very hard to help you like this, right? I think at one point I did implement some extensions somewhere. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't think honestly we're debugging now. I think now we're just, we're just implementing the feature now. So I think we're past debugging. Now we're just doing the right. I don't actually know if we need a lot the extent. Do we need the extensions when you also have the meme types? I wonder. I guess we do, right? It kind of feels a bit disconnected, right? Yeah, it feels a bit strange, but let's do it, right? Whatever. Yeah, exactly. So let's just make this one only to deal with actual images, right? So let's not just say file. That's way too generic, right? Yeah, and this validator kind of does a bit too much now. So let's just, this doesn't make sense anymore. Let's call it is valid, because this doesn't concern only with a single singular thing anymore. It now checks more things. Well, we are checking that by the extension and by the meme type, right? I don't know, right? Maybe, right? For sure, 100%, 100%, 100% Panosa. Yeah. Now, we don't really need, is this also in bytes? It is. Yeah. So this now kind of, so let me just do one thing, because we can make this to not necessarily, I just don't want to make this mandatory, right? Because in that other place, so we can omit this. Okay, cool. Yep. No, you cannot go, Panosa. I'm sorry, man. You have to stay here the whole time. Unfortunately, that's what it is. But yeah, you just can't go, dude. You can't. I'm just kidding, man. Thank you very much, dude, for everything. It's so good to know that so good to know that you love to come to my stream more than anything in life. It's great. It's great. See you, Panosa, man. Thank you very much, buddy. Always good to have you around, man. Thanks. Right, right. As always. Bye, my friend. Thank you very much for everything. Error true. What? Wait a minute. What is this return doing here? So wait a minute. If file type, if this, right? So this should be error message null, right? So yeah, if we end up here, it is valid, right? So let's see. If no file type, this fails, this can fail, and then eventually it can succeed, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, beautiful. All right, beautiful. Whoa, we have new subs. Nice. Thank you very much, guys. Drev, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it very much. How do you test your code? It was so fast, I couldn't see first time. So depending where QCS, depending which project. In this one we're using tap. In this recent library we wrote we're using jest, I believe, and something. So depending on the project, right? So it's not very mega defined right now, right? I'll get back to testing in 1 second. Let me just ensure now that we can actually do this. So let's go to. So we're just testing this feature now with this. I'm using Windows Linux subsystem for many years, and all of this is running in Windows Linux subsystem. There's not much genuinely to think about it. It's just a better version of a VM. It works amazingly well, and it makes Windows a very useful operating system. So that's pretty much, honestly, my view of it. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the question though should be then, should this really be a decorator? I don't honestly. I don't think necessarily this should be a decorator, honestly, right? Why would I use Ubuntu? I mean, you're asking me why not just use something that's 500 times more unstable. That's why. That's one answer, and I can have many other. It's like you're asking me, why are you not using an operating system used by 0.5% market share? I think the question itself is self-answered. Yeah, I think it's better if this is not a decorator, honestly. So I think we should turn this just into a function somewhere in our Cloudflare client. Maybe this also isn't really a great place for it, right? But I mean, this is our... I mean, Windows is around probably 850 times more stable and better than Ubuntu, right? It's that's really how it is, man. If you don't trust me, go check the market share. There are around maybe 14 people alive on the planet who are using still Ubuntu and shit like that, right? And it's usually 14 years old kids who want to feel like hackers, right? That's how it is. Okay, so if we take a look at this, shit, my bad, my bad. File type from buffer. Oh yeah, exactly. So we need to import this crap. Draft, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, buddy. Very kind of you. Very kind of you, dude. Thanks. Happy that you're enjoying the stream. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Validate image. Wait, so this is return. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shit. Where are we? What did I close? Yeah. So that's actually good. We're not going to use the decorator there anymore, right? That's what we said. And let's go to setup decorators, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, over here. That's what it is. That's what it is. You guys are giving money to me. Can you imagine that? What a fatal mistake. I just want to shove it in your faces when you're doing it with that sound. Yeah, 50% goes to Bezos and 50% to Danish government. So what you actually pay me is like a person begging on the street would make more, literally. That's how the Twitch business works. Thank you very much, buddy. I live in Copenhagen, yes. Okay, I guess so. So this is kind of now a slight thing that where we have to Yeah. So if we fail here right now, what we can actually fail with though is, you live in Fredericksburg. I used to live in Fredericksburg near the shopping mall. We lived there 3 years ago. We lived next to that church. I don't know if you know where the best pizzeria is in Falconer Alley. Yeah, I used to live there as well, man. Right now we're in Ama. Yeah, here it is. It's an instance path. Yeah. Let me just think for a moment. Uh, Live Proton, I was probably using Linux, assuming how you talk when you were not born, most likely. I think you were still not planned. So don't talk nonsense, man. Ubuntu is a shit operating system. That's why, again, less than 1% people use it. If it wasn't crap, people would be using it. It's common sense, right? So if you want to use Linux, use Arc or use something that's actually worth even talking about, right? Don't mention Linux on this. Don't mention Ubuntu on this stream, please. I'm just actually now I'm just trolling him a bit, but okay. Reply send error. I mean, he's yeah. I think you actually, jokes aside, I think Ubuntu is the best operating system on planet, and that's why less than 1% people are using it, because everybody knows that if something is the best, yes, servers, yes, this very product runs on Unix server, of course. We're uh, take, taking taking an argument such as, hey, all servers run on Linux, hence it's good for users. It's meaningless, right? It's like um, it's like saying cars run on gas, so human beings should drink gas as well and not eat food, right? So the argument is meaningless, right? So now the question here is, oops. Ah shit, we can't do this here. Okay, so actually we will do. I mean, look, I genuinely don't care. I'm just messing around, right? Use whatever you want. Whatever works for you is great. Just if you, the reason why I'm teasing you mainly, the only reason why I'm teasing you is because you're not understanding your own irony of how you perceive yourself. I'm talking to live Proton. Use whatever you want and don't tell other people what to use. If you want to have such discussion in such a way, then don't contradict yourself. That's all, right? No, well, I said that Ubuntu is shit when he said that Windows sucks, right? I For those of you who are watching me now for sometimes, I always respond with to stupid questions or statements with the same response. What else can I respond with, right? So if you say something stupid, I can just respond with something as stupid, right? Otherwise, because that's the best way to prove a point. I mean, fundamentally, look, this is not a. I use Mac for my work for 12, 13 years now. My MacBook Pro and all of them that I had, they're amazing computers, an amazing operating system. Linux fundamentally is an unstable operating system. This is not a matter of my personal choice or feelings. This is fundamental truth. This is a fact. And anyone who has used Linux for more than 3 days knows that compared to Windows and Mac OS, Linux is unstable. There's no operating system on earth almost where you run an apt-get update or whatever and then you can't boot it. That only happens in Linux. So this is not a personal opinion. This is a matter of this is factual. You can find this out in 3 seconds on Google. So this is not but again, if whatever works for you, use it. I 100% agree and we can agree on that. But calling Windows more unstable than Linux is just plain, it's not even stupid, it's just ignorance, right? Because it cannot be, there's nothing more unstable in general than any disto of any Linux. It can be Ubuntu, it can be Mandriva, Xubuntu, whatever, right? So it's fundamentally true, and that's it, right? But which ones? I mean, sure. I mean, it's an interesting subject. Can you point out what do I have on this computer now that's a lot of the stuff that I'm not using, right? Exactly, and that's pretty much my point, right? And again, I don't even. It's kind of sad that I have to make this point because look at the market share, and market share is going to tell you that. I mean, people are not stupid, man. Professionals, when an average professional turn on their computer, they don't want to be thinking, is this computer going to boot up? An average person doesn't want to be sweating when they need to upgrade dependencies, right? So an average professional, that's why Mac OS is great. Mac OS always works, it's always stable, and that's why it's so popular amongst professionals. My Windows uptime, if I can see it, is probably half a year now. If I could see that, because I never turn off my computer, I just put it to sleep, how can I check that? Is there a way to check that? I haven't turned off this computer literally in maybe half a year, so I'm not sure what the fuck are you talking about, man. You're just talking nonsense now. I don't know where to check that, right? I'm not using PowerShell, man. Uptime 18 days, 12 hours, 51 minutes. And this is because I was traveling, so I turned it off because I wasn't home. Generally, it's never turned off, right? So he's just talking nonsense, right? But again, just to end this discussion, look at the market share, look what people are using, and that's it, right? Windows is 5 million times better than Linux. Dude, like you have to understand this is just fundamental truth. This is not my opinion. Look two most used operating systems and that's it, right? No, I mean, this computer is insane, right? I mean, this computer turns on in 2 seconds. It's just that I mainly use this computer for streaming, right? This is my streaming setup, right? So I just put it to sleep. And then the next night when I'm streaming to you guys, I just press the button. So I leave all of the shit open, my OBS, desktops, right? Well. I mean, dude, like you cannot. The thing is, look, Proton. I mean, we're just trying to have fun here, right? The problem is that you contradict yourself in how you perceive, how you're trying to push your statements. You say something inaccurate, and then you say that's the problem, and you cannot have a discussion like that and win an argument. In my experience, you say something inaccurate, and then you say something very kind of It's like, oh well, okay, like we just have different experience. It's all. This is not nothing about the experience, man. This stuff is factual. You cannot claim that Ubuntu is more stable than Windows 11. That's just stupid, man. That's not a matter of opinion. That's just not true. That's a false statement, right? Um, so right, you cannot claim something inaccurate and then say, well, let's just agree to disagree. This is not about you and me disagreeing, man. It's just, right. It's just you're saying inaccurate stuff, which is just inaccurate. It's not a matter of if you like it. You don't have to use Windows, and I don't care, right? It's just what you're saying is not true. Dimitrov, good evening, buddy. Drop the database. Sleep well, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so getting now here. Okay, let's fuck it. It was a nice discussion. Let's just move, right? Yeah, so the only thing I think here, basically, what we have to do. So actually, I think this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. I'm gonna let you guys end that discussion. I think I had enough. Blah blah blah. No, where was this crap? Over here. Weirad, good evening, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Good to have you here, man. So if it's valid and then blah 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 is a valid image, blah blah blah. Yes. And then basically here we want to smack this bad boy, right? Yes. Okay, let's just review this once more. And why is this really async? Does this return a promise? It does. Okay, so we check the file type. We check for this stuff. How do you change the background like this? Look, let me just put you the context. Let me just put something in for you to the context. So let's imagine that I streamed from Ubuntu now. Let me just put it into perspective. So my webcam, so drivers from my web camera right now wouldn't work on any Linux distro. This microphone, Shure MV7, doesn't have drivers for Linux at all. My Stream Deck, this keyboard that I have, doesn't work on Linux. My keyboard doesn't have drivers for Linux. My lights here, my stream lights, whatever they're called, they don't have, right? So in simple words, this is not a matter just of what you want to use, right? This is a matter of reality. You cannot stream even if you want properly from Linux. Even OBS works horribly on Linux. So this is not a matter this is not just a matter of my choice, right? Like if Linux was good enough, I would have obviously streamed from it, because there's nothing really now that I'm using from Windows. Everything that's running here is basically running in Linux already. So those services are running there. So if Linux had drivers for at least 3 things, right? You get what I mean? So you can just see, based on this example of mine, that due to the market share being so marginally low, it's business-wise, nobody builds drivers for Linux. Why the hell would Shure write this microphone drivers for Linux? Because how many people on Linux, there's so few people using that operating system, and how many of them are actually recording, let's say, music on Linux? There's nobody in the whole industry ever that was using digital audio workstations or like music production and stuff on Linux. So in simple words, basically, even the basic drivers are not there, right? Abdi, thank you very much, man. Have a safe flight. I hope to see you whenever you're around. So this is just fundamental. Like this is not a matter of do you want it or not. Linux you can't literally use for many things. You cannot use it for music production because software is not built for it. You cannot use it for streaming because my camera wouldn't work, my microphone wouldn't work, my Stream Deck wouldn't work, my keyboard would barely work with the software that it has. So it just makes it incredibly hard. So what you start doing, you start going to some random Git repos. You go to Git repos, you try to find alternatives, you know, oh, why don't you run it in Wine and stuff, right? Anyways, so it's just, yeah, exactly, yeah. But that's what it is. That's what it is. In simple words, sure, whatever works, use it. Just be cautious about how you push it to how you share it with others because it's a lot of those things that were said are just inherently not true. And I mean, discussion is good. Live Proton, man. Don't feel offended or offensive. I think you did start it. No, no, no. But it's fine, man. It's great. It's great that we discuss this sort of stuff, man. I wouldn't feel bad at all. Actually, my son, man, is good. He's recovered. He's actually sleeping now. I'm actually gonna have to check on him in a minute. Uh, every distraction, exactly, exactly. Yeah, my son is sleeping for a while now. Let me just see why is this working. This should now fail, I think. Actually, good. That's wait. Did we get a what? Payload too large? And what was the payload? All right, so let's test it now. So this is what we wrote. But course, thank you very much for asking, man. I really very much appreciate it. No, no, but I don't think that the API responded with, or maybe it did. Let me check. Oh, request body is too large. Is this actually our validation? Is this what I actually implemented? Give me 2 seconds. Request body is too large. So actually maybe, wait. Yeah, that's slightly strange, right? That's slightly strange. I didn't expect to get that, right? Give me just 2 seconds. Because I do want to trigger a file is too large thing, right? It's just so we so our API is actually, but wait a minute, wait. Of course, I actually recorded a video today. It's 1 minute video and literally explains exactly what you just said. Give me 1 second. It's not a shameless promotion. It's literally answers your question. Here it is. Literally, it's literally your question. All right, so let's actually go back here. So let's go to create thought. Let's see, maybe am I doing something in on my blah 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 blah. Let's get over here, create thought body schema. What are we doing here? Okay. Literally check my 1 minute video there. It literally answers exactly what you asked. And then if you have a follow-up question, feel free to ask. Request body is too large, and that's actually correct. It is too large. It's just let's actually take a look why, where are we getting that from? So my pleasure. And just give me 1 second. I don't think that we even actually get here, or maybe. Wait a minute. Shit. Validate image base. This dot validate image. What? Oh, okay, so that's okay. Base this. I wonder if this guy is maybe failing, but I don't think so. I mean, this should be able to convert anything. Oh, fuck. No. But we do kind of get right. We right. So we do reach the API. So that's actually good. It's just where the hell do we? Give me one moment. Give me 1 second. Let me comment this shit out. And let's try this again, just to see if we're even getting there. So no, we're not even getting to that point. Payload too large. So do I have some sort of plugin or something? Request payload too large. Let's go to, where's our multi-part? No, this is the front end. Yeah, but this is only for the avatar. I don't think setup plugins, multi-part, yeah. Throw limit size true. But are we? Yeah, I don't think that. Wait a minute. The thing is, right? Again, as I said in that 1 minute video, right? There's no shortcuts to things, right? And there's no skipping of things, right? A lot of developers, right? A lot of younger developers, especially, they for some reason think that CSS is this useless thing, blah blah blah, right? Like, let me tell you one thing: you can be the most amazing developer when it comes to web development in the world. If you don't know CSS, then anything you build is useless, right? Because again, CSS is the foundation of experience to the users. HTML and CSS is still what people see when they come to your site. So no user gives a crap how well your JavaScript is written if the experience that they go through is shitty. So in simple words, if you are a developer, knowing CSS is as crucial as knowing JavaScript or anything else. If you want to build web pages, I'm talking primarily if you want to do any front end and you don't know CSS, then you suck. So if you don't want to suck, then you need to know CSS. It's as simple as that, right? Because again, if you went to Amazon.com and it looked like shit, and you couldn't find anything and it was hard to navigate through, your last concern would be, oh, it doesn't matter if my experience on this website is crappy. The JavaScript is written in a perfect way. So nobody cares, man. If you can't make things look nice, feel nice, how your underlying code is, nobody cares. So just remember that, right? Nobody cares. And also, Artunado, good evening, buddy. Good to see you again. 100%. Kirill, man, thank you very much, buddy. Sounds great. Let's keep in touch on Discord. We also need to merge your stuff. All right, guys. So let me just focus here a bit, please, because past 20 minutes I've done almost nothing. Will do, man. Will do. I need to review it and just hit the final button, hit the approve button. Okay, but the call stack is slightly useless. So where is so this is some internal stuff, internal Fastify stuff, right? Request body. I wonder if Fastify has some defaults, right? My Fastify returns this when I try to upload an image of 1 MB. Okay, so there is a body limit. Okay, that's actually, wow, that's good to know, honestly. That's good to know. That's great. I didn't know this, honestly. Great. The biggest problem though with this, right, is now that this thing is no. I mean, this is perfectly fine. This is actually great. That no. This is good. This is good, right? This is great. It's not shit. This is. It's just the problem here is that. I mean, it's just Fastify doesn't allow files to be greater than some default, which is let's just set this to some greater number, just right. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. Is it really called body limit? Yeah, let's just put it to like some large size just to see if we actually can overcome this. And let's uncomment this code that I wrote here. And let's try to reply this. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's just kind of funny though that this got uploaded. So our validation there that we wrote for this specific, no, this is actually a wrong thing. Sorry. All right, let's try that again. Let's try that once more. Give me 1 second. One sec. All right, so let's try that again. So some image that's too large. Yeah, definitely live pro, 100%, man. I would prefer 100%. It's just, it doesn't seem to be that, right? Body limit. So that's a bit awkward, right? For sure it is. Okay, let's now kind of, so if it's valid, we get the buffer here. We convert to buffer here. Thank you everybody for your follows and all of that stuff. Very much appreciated. So how come that we, come on, man. How come that we actually pass this point is the question. Because we're, wait a minute, what? Never mind. If it's not valid, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see. So no, it's actually okay. Ferg, good evening, buddy. Thank you very much. So actually we are good. So it does work. The only problem is that we should really be throwing here and not returning, right? Because we need to throw, right? So we'll need to probably at one point. So we'll need to rewrite this probably. I might do this off stream because I do want to still get this error in my front end that I can render it nicely. So say, hey, the whole process has failed, but it has failed because one of your images has been too large, right? So this thing here should actually provide some. So I think we can improve this furthermore, but we don't have to do it now. Let's do it in steps. We want to build it, but some obviously, right? We cannot just. I mean, we can just show some toaster and stuff. But for those of you who remember, like if I try to submit stuff, you can see. So if any of the images fail to upload, for example, for whatever reason, we should still show that here beneath, or depending where we allow image upload, right? But now actually this should indeed fail. Let's see. Yeah. And then we get the message because it is indeed an object, right? We could technically stringify this and then parse it back there, but I don't like that solution. It kind of sucks ass. But again, that's why I'm saying, right? We could also. Good evening, Alex. What do you mean? Are the large number JS okay? Okay, in which sense? And I would agree with Numinex 100% as well. Get images from TipTap state. That's great. Okay, so just give me a second. I just need I need to figure out. So from here, so we have this batch upload error, right? So what we could technically do, the biggest problem now with this, I mean, it's not a problem. That's how we want. It's just we have a try catch. So if I actually throw here, what do we actually do? So we remove all the images, if any, have already been uploaded, and then we. So maybe instead of throwing this like this, let's try by not wrapping it in an error. Yeah, exactly. There we go, right? So now we actually get a validation error, and we can feed this to our form hook, and that's beautiful. So this works with the rest of my system because that's how I designed it. So file. Now, the only downside of this now, if you had two images in here and then one of them exceeded the size, then obviously, then obviously that wouldn't work. So there are a few design issues here, right? So it's clear to me that first we should loop through all of the files, convert them to a buffer, do the validation, and then loop again through that, and then start the upload thing. I think the biggest issue now with the current implementation is that, say that you create some article that has 5 images and the last one fails. Well, we would upload 4 already, the 5th one would fail, then we would end up here, and then we would end up removing the 4 that actually succeeded. So in simple words, I'll just add it to do here. Create an array of buffers, validate, and only start a batch upload if all files are valid, aka passing validation, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, but again, yeah, it's and then here we will also need to say, hey, which image, right? For which image did this fail, right? Yeah, I mean, we are already using promise all right here already, right? So you're 100% right. You're 100% right. We're already, so we'll just need to break this logic out, right? So we'll need to, so let's actually do that right away, right? So here, let's say here something like this. So let's say here const buffers is, and I'm just gonna actually copy paste this whole thing or whatever, we'll see. So it's okay to have a bad there's no such thing, man, as bad project, right? We all suck in certain areas. We all learn. I mean, we all learn every day. Don't get discouraged by my stream or whatever. There's nothing here that's amazing what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a very long time and repeating the same shit for many years. So nothing that I'm doing here is rocket science. In fact, it's quite hilariously simple compared to what some actual engineers do, right? So of course, there's no such thing as bad project, man. Keep building things, and then things are gonna come, right? Just hack on, build things, and you're gonna kick ass. I have no doubts. I have no doubts. It's just I need to think here. So I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it. Exactly what Alex is saying, right? Just keep on hacking, man. Keep on building, and there's no as I sent you. Of course, you should use your full name. Why not? Unless you're hiding from some organization that wants to assassinate you, then that's probably then not a good idea. Alex, man, I expect you to come more often, okay, man? I haven't seen you in days. Unacceptable. I'm just kidding, man. Have a good night, bro. Sleep well, man. My pleasure, buddy. I'm Alex. Good to meet you, Ryan, and thank you for saying your name. Actually, it's always nicer when I actually can refer to people with a name. Fortunato, I mean, I know, man. I know. I mean, it's really difficult, man. Like I'm not also happy, right? Because I mean, I do start at 9 every night, right, or 8. Weekends I try to do it earlier. So I feel you, man. It's just like that's my schedule, right? I come from work like 4:30. My wife works 3 days a week, so she goes to work. Then I have to take care of my kid up until 8:39 until he falls asleep. Then I stream and then I go to bed, right? So it's right. Ryan sounds good. So, but I feel you, man. I'm not also like, yeah. So we await for this, then we map over it. So we basically no longer need this. Give me 1 second, Gamble Dev, because I don't know how this is gonna turn. I have a good feeling about it. I feel it. You know when you feel it, right? I feel it, right? I feel the code, right? But I don't know how is it gonna end up yet. Give me a minute. I mean, I kind of feel it, so let's see how it's gonna end up. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to just. Yeah, man, exactly. But it did grow on me, right? And I haven't seen you in a long time, but I also get it, man. We all work, we all have obligations, but I do my best to it's also, I also like to stream earlier and finish earlier, right? It's just literally this little gap in time is all the time that I have, I'm basically active 20 hours a day or 18 hours a day, right? Hi, Alexander. Gustavo, how are you, man? I'm very good, man. Thank you for asking. What about yourself? What about yourself? Okay, so let's imagine that now we create this array of buffers, which is not really buffers. It's just array of something of objects that either contain a buffer and an error, right? And then we loop over that, right? Now, it's just I would like to return the array of errors as well. Unfortunately, no. Some libraries that we wrote in the stream, they are, but the whole project, unfortunately not, no. All right. Numinex, buddy, thank you for being here almost every night, man. Sleep well, dude. I think Marv, nobody can answer that question better than you, right? We all interviews are broken, right? And interviewing is a lot more about how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you rather than your capabilities, right? If you think that what you wrote is true, then that's probably true and or maybe not. But at the end of the day, as you wrote a bit, right? Programming is really all about getting things done, right? So again, it's really easy today to know theory because there's streams like mine, there's books, there's YouTube, right? So I know a lot of people who are really good at talking about programming. You talk to them and they know all of the latest libraries, they know this and that, right? But actually sitting and building things is really different. It's almost like knowing everything about tennis. I used to be a tennis coach when I was younger, right? So now I would probably suck. So theoretically now I know everything about tennis, how you should be holding the racket, doing your knees, not falling back, and every other thing. But if I would take the racket in my hand now, I would not play it well, right? So you know the response to that the best, right? You know actually what you're capable of, right? But unfortunately for all of us, interviews are just broken, and some people, they don't know anything and they can sell themselves. Some people are really good, but they don't have the charisma. They can't sell themselves, because at the end of the day, we're all products, right? You are a product, I'm a product, and we're all trying to sell ourselves for more money, right? And some people have a skill to sell themselves really good, and some people don't have them. It's like you go to Amazon and you find some amazing product that has like 0 reviews. Nobody knows about it. It's probably better than the one that has 20,000, right? But how do you know that it's better, right? So that's kind of, you can almost apply a piece of that to interviewing as well, right? Interviewing is very difficult, right? I, for example, haven't really interviewed properly in years because I have a huge network of references, their CTOs, CEOs, and stuff like that. So for me, when I apply, I just share my references. I'm like, call this CTO, call that CTO, call this CEO. And it really, it is just unfortunately like that. But if you have a good references, you're at a huge advantage over others, at a huge advantage, right? If you don't have references, if you don't have solid experience, then it's like fishing in the. And again, as I wrote this article, right, a few days ago, right, it's really about this, right? At the end of the day, I think I wrote this maybe a day or two ago. At the end of the day, really, it's all about getting things done, right? Because this is what companies like, right? Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. And thank you very much, everybody, for. Okay, I like this. This is great. And now at this point we want to stop, right? We're gonna do this in a moment as well. So at this point we don't care about the error. So if we get to this point, we know everything's fine because we're gonna early return here. Here we're gonna get this metadata basically, and that's metadata we're passing there. So we'll say const. This is metadata, and then here we'll say if validation exactly, or just right? Exactly. Then here we want to obviously throw or return, right? And now yeah. So this is gonna be basically validation error. So this is gonna be. So here we want to say pretty much something like. Exactly. Something like that, right? Shit. Okay, and then yeah. So I guess I want to say throw. Something like this, right? Yep, I think something like that, right? So let's try to fail. Let's try to fail again. Let's see what happens. There we go. Beautiful. It worked. Nice. We also get the image for which, I love it so much. Whew, nice. Okay, so let's try multiple images and let's try to upload multiple large images, and then I expect to get the multiple errors for each given image. So let's do this, and then let's do this. And let's say, bam, there we go. Yes, how beautiful it is. So here we are, right? We're getting the errors that my front end can consume because I built this whole system manually. So now my use form can just consume those errors, and then it can show them below. We're gonna actually try to go as crazy and just try to show them below the actual images. So I think that would be great. So yeah, we still have maybe one more stream to deal with this task because it's pretty huge, I think. But I think we can make it in such a way where we record a YouTube video about this because I think, yeah. Thank you, Frank, for follow, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your follows. Thank you for hitting that button. Cause, thank you very much as well, buddy. So this is good. I mean, honestly, so we haven't. I was expecting to finish this task today. I don't think we will, but I'm actually very happy with where we went. Karuf, good hi to you as well, man. So I'm actually happy where we are. There's obviously a lot of complexity, as you can see, but I think we're handling it really good. The utils we wrote here look really good. Validation is good. It works, I think, for the most part. Only thing that I'm gonna actually do is, so we need to figure out, let's add a to-do here. To-do, figure out if we can somehow throw a specific type of error for this. The thing is, I think Ortonado is very much right. So I think so for example, I've spent past 7 years, I think, I've spent the most time, if I interviewed in my career, it has been past 5 to 7 years. I can tell you that those types of things, asking what is a prototypal inheritance, what is, I don't know, variable hoisting and stuff like that, I think Ortonado is 100% right. Generally, you ask stupid questions like this primarily when you just don't know how to interview. So there's a high probability that the person who interviewed you just actually is very inexperienced in that, because asking those types of questions is actually okay if they're just a small and insignificant subset of questions. Right? So in simple words, if I would ever ask you in an interview, hey, explain to me classical versus prototypal inheritance, the value of the answer of that question would be the most minimal relative to the other things that I would ask you, right? I think asking those very specific, you don't know JavaScript out of the book type of questions is useless, right? Because it tells you nothing, right? Well, first and foremost, I would not ask you. So when I interview people, right, and I can just tell you that all the people that I've interviewed, and recently also 2 people that work in my team, right. The thing is, let me tell you this. So let's imagine you applied Dream Data to Dream Data, and I'm interviewing you, right. First thing that I would do, I would give you some super easy 2-3 hours code challenge to do at home. You would bring your laptop to our office, you would plug it in a TV, and I would tell you, okay, Marv, can you guide me through your code? So start anywhere you want and just tell me what you did, why, and stuff, right? And then you would do that. And then based on how you communicate, how you share your things, based on your emotions, I would then, based on your reactions, ask some questions. So I don't prepare questions for an interview, right? I only need you to open up some code and talk about it. So for example, you would say, let me give you guys some typical answers that I get when I interview people as a tech lead myself. So for example, state management is something that I deeply care about. So for example, if you have applied as a full stack position and you're going to be doing, let's say, React or Svelte or Vue.js, whatever, I would like to know your experience with handling state. Some candidates, for example, they would use Redux in a very small app, which is also fine because sometimes candidates just give their best to try to showcase that they know something. So I would say, hey, Marv, you've used, Redux for this, to-do app, and I don't feel, bad about it. I know that you used it because you want to show that you know Redux. But, can you tell me, would the Redux be suitable, let's say, for this, and why would you use it? What other ways did you handle state? So state would be something I would very deeply be interested about if you're talking about front end, because one of the most and the hardest thing in the front, especially in the modern front end, is dealing with state, right? So I would like to see, I would get a lot of value out of your responses, because I would then get the feeling if you actually ever worked on a large scale project, or if you didn't, right? Then, of course, as we go through your code, right, I would ask you, but then again, I would not ask you about prototypal inheritance, about variable hoisting, about, function declaration versus function expression and shit like that, right? I maybe would ask you that, and maybe you would answer all of them correct, maybe you would answer all of them incorrect, but that wouldn't be something that I would account for too much, right? Because, there are far more important things when you're hiring people than if they know what what an observable is or what a promise is. Of course, concurrency is very important, right? So I would definitely ask you about concurrency, but I would maybe not ask you to implement a promise. I would ask you, hey, so I can see you're doing this HTTP call here, you're using Axios or use SVR or, use query or whatever, stuff like that. I would say, okay, why are you using this, So why didn't you use this, right? So I would try to figure out, and guys, give me just 3 seconds. I just need to check up on my son just to see if he's sleeping. 1 sec. All right, sorry. He's good. He's sleeping like a baby. Jace, love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm actually, yeah. Banana is the quickest thing you can eat, and it gives you a bit of energy. Yeah. So yeah, so as I was saying, so I'm actually very happy with where we ended up in a way. There's again, Marv, just FYI, please. I think you're maybe taking it a bit too personally. I don't think that anyone really. I think one fundamental thing is that everybody does hiring different, right? Many people care about different things, right? I don't think, again, that some of the questions he asked you are relevant. I would not ask you that. Does that mean that I'm better than him? Or, of course not, right? So nobody's cutting anyone's wings, right? And that doesn't matter if he had 500 interviews or 5 million or 5, right? That's relevant. He clearly thinks that some things are more important than others, and that's fine. But how many interviews you had, it has no significance in that thing, right? He may be right, so it doesn't really matter, right? Either way, only thing that matters is that you liked it and that you felt that experience was good. And if experience was good for you, then why does it matter what we say, right? It's completely irrelevant what I think or what Artunato thinks, right? As always, I can only share my view, right? I cannot share someone else's view. So you asked the question, right? And I basically shared my own perspective, right? By no means, no, I'm saying that my perspective is correct, right? Of course not. Very interesting. So actually, we did mess something up. Give me 1 second. Uh huh. Interesting. Avatar. What? Oh yeah, we did mess that up. Okay, let's fix that. Shit. Oh my god, man, shut the fuck up is here. Unbelievable. Dude, screw you. Okay, man. Screw you, man. All right? I haven't seen you in so long, man. Unacceptable, dude. I don't want to even interview you now, okay? I don't even want to interview you, bro. Like, how dare you, man? I don't even want to interview you anymore, okay? Juan, thank you very much, buddy. I hope you're having a good time. Ironically, when it comes to interviews, I've gotten so many what is it called? The thing is, I hate the word interview, right? I generally, I would like that, man. The thing is, I hate the word interview, right? So one of the latest comments that I got from the people that I interviewed, and people actually that I hired, is that I think no matter how many million interviews you have, like this guy had 500 interviews, that's irrelevant. As long as you can make the interview feel like it's not an interrogation, that it's not an interview, that it's a discussion, that's what the right interview is. So seriously, like if anyone can take, if I could give anyone a tip, if you ever need to interview someone, try to make that experience feel like a genuine discussion, but don't fake it. You have to internalize this in you. So when I interview people and when I'm being interviewed, I generally just want that to be a discussion, because people who are interviewing you, they would be someone you're going to end up working with. So you have to just make that experience a discussion, not a matter of I am on this side of the table, hence I'm asking you. So when I'm interviewing people, you just try to kind of soften it up. You don't instantly start like, can you solve this algorithm for me? It's like, no, man. You just make it humane, and you chit chat for 5-10 minutes about stupid shit. Have you played this video game, right? And then you just go through the code with the person, and you make it humane. You make it a discussion, not an interrogation, right? So, because I think mostly when people have a bad experience with interviewing is that when you go in there and they're just like interrogate the living shit out of you. It's like, uh, exactly. So don't interrogate people, because I mean, it's like you're not hiring servants. You're hiring your future colleagues that gonna be working with you. So you want to actually soften the. I mean, interviews are hard, right? Many people feel stressed. All people, nobody feels like completely relaxed in an interview, right? So the best thing you can do is you can try to improve that by, because it's in your interest to truly see the person how they actually are when they're relaxed. So you want to get that person to the state of mind where they can be who they actually are, right? Will, good evening, buddy. So what the fuck is the problem then? Wait a minute. So source, ATTR source. Yeah, Alex. My colleagues call me Alex. Exactly. Images. Shit. Maybe we introduced regression in here. Give me 1 second. Give give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, man. Yeah, we messed something up. Let's fix that and then yeah. Yeah, give me 1 second is an empty array, as I thought. Okay, let's fix that. So let's go where we're using this again. I mean, the thing is, right? The thing is, you cannot make all the people happy, right? So no matter how genuine you are in your intents, no matter how great you are, you're not gonna click with some people, right? So the thing is, interviews are just that, man, right? You meet a random person, like, and you have to now talk to that random person. Sometimes that random person fits you, your character. It's very subjective. I think the biggest issue with this type of diversity type of thing that we keep talking about is one fundamental issue. All of us have feelings, we have gut feelings, and very oftentimes things are very subjective. So, for example, when I interviewed with GitLab, so a couple of years ago, I interviewed with GitLab, and I, kicked ass. I went through technical interview in like 2 seconds, and then I got to the final stage, and the final stage was talking to a CTO of the team where I would be working at. So, and that guy and I just didn't click. I think he got a little bit intimidated by my extrovert kind of behavior, and he got intimidated because he's the same like me. And we both realized, even by saying to each other, that him and I wouldn't work together really well because we are both very upfront. I don't know how would I explain. So sometimes, in an interview, you simply don't get a job because the person isn't feeling it. You can kick the ass in a technical interview, you can do everything perfect, and still you just don't. It doesn't work out, right? And it's better. So when it comes to my experience with GitLab, for example, it was great that we both felt that way. Because if they offered me a job and I accepted, it would probably be a super shitty experience. We would kill each other, right? You don't hire two people like me in the same team, right? Because I'm the person who just like, fuck, let's go, right? I'm a huge realist, right? I just focus on facts and all of that shit, and you can't have two people like that. There has to be someone else to soften person like me a bit, right? So no matter what you do, again, some people are gonna leave the interview, they're gonna not feel happy, and they're gonna be sad and this and that, and that's how it is, man. I mean, it's like you go out, you meet a girl or a guy, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, right? Give me 1 second. My wife is writing to me. So that's what it is, man. It's kind of easy often to comment on interviews when you're not the one interviewing, but it's not an easy process. It's nobody's an asshole in such a way where they just reject people because they're evil, right? You have, for every position that you interview, you have 100 other people, and that's just how it is, right? There's nobody has figured it out yet, right? Okay, so let's fix this. Images. Oh shit, what? Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I know why. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Wait a minute. It's because this thing now, or did I figure it out? No, actually, I didn't figure it out. Wait, give me a second. So this is good, yeah. So this does indeed return images, and that's correct. Ah, what a solution. Well, maybe, maybe while he's being paid for those 3 weeks, maybe he's going to learn it. Great for him. The guy is going to learn Selenium and he's also going to get paid. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, lovely for him. How great is that, right? Ah, what a dream. What a dream. What a dream. So we actually do get it. So uploaded image, so we do get it, right? So what are we missing? So we say image, shit, is it the title maybe that we're missing? Shit, wait a minute. Let's say here title. Let's reply this XHR. So we get also the title, yeah, that's fine. So all is good so far, right? So we create this hash table, this map, right? We await for that. It's maybe a bit dumb, but don't we have to await here as well for this to finish? I think that might be the issue, right? Interesting. Okay. Apple Touch icon. All right, let me just see if this is a concurrency issue. So let's say here, cool story 1. So it is a concurrency issue, right? So I think that's the issue, right? But this is super fucking strange, man. So we're gonna wait for that. So that should be fine, right? What do you mean using it? Can you elaborate a bit more? So yeah, so this is the issue. So so we do actually fucking return, and then so that is the problem for sure, right? This is indeed a concurrency issue, right? Wait, const test is await buffers. What the hell is happening, man? What did I mess up? This is what I messed up. Okay. I'm almost certain it's this. Shit, man. What the hell is going on, dude? Thank you very much for the follow, guys. Appreciate it. Will, thank you very much, buddy. So we wait for this promise all, right? We have the buffers now. We do this. Dude, come on. What's happening? Like, seriously? Crazy stuff, man. What are we doing? Wow. Okay. Super strange bug or regression that we just introduced. Let's see. And I should actually let's do one thing. Let's copy this as curl command, right? Just so we don't have to, yeah. All right, so let's get back over here now so we can just be uploading that from there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what the hell are we doing. So image service batch upload, yes. We have those buffers, right? All good, await. This is an async thing. Then we use the buffers here. We do the validation, we do this crap. Okay, so now it's good. Okay, so it was a concurrency issue. Yeah. Now we see. Okay, fixed. Okay, so just to get back to this discussion, to maybe also join it, you don't have to ditch courses, right? I recorded this 1-minute video today on YouTube that I shared with you guys. I started recording those, what they're called, those short videos on YouTube, right? And in this video, pretty much, right, I explained that, right? I think the huge mistake that many people make is that they enroll into too many resources, right? I actually remember, so when I was very young, I lived very close by the government office in my small city where I come from, and one of the developers there, like older guys, they gave me a PHP 3 book. And I remember as a kid, that was the only book I had, PHP 3. And I would go home and I would just read that whole day. It was like 1,000 pages book. And the amount of stuff that I learned from it, because I just sticked from almost start to end, was insane, right? I think the biggest problem today is this overwhelming amount of information. So you start one video, you don't, I can see the statistics on my own videos on YouTube, right? People are incapable of finishing anything, right? So buy one course, follow that curriculum, right? Give me 1 second. I just have to check out with my son. Give me a moment. Be right back. Give me 1 second. Just to check. All right, sorry. So don't drop the courses. Get one course, stick to it. If you stumble upon some lesson that's unclear, go to YouTube, right? No more bananas. But don't buy 5 courses or 10 courses or 15 different resources. Get a course. You can go to Udemy and get a 10 euros course that lasts for 50 hours that can take you 4 months to finish. Just stick to it, right? There is no shortcut to this, right? Just I think this is fundamental issue. There is no shortcut to any of this, right? There is no course, stream, mentor, school. There's nothing that will make this journey not long, right? So stop looking, and I'm talking now in general. If you're trying to learn programming, there's no secret wand. There is no magic. There's no that single book that you're just gonna read and you're gonna know. This is type of a job where you have to sit and build things. You can read 500 books on programming and you're gonna still know nothing about programming. You have to sit. And I mean, nothing to apologize for, man. Of course, no. This is not just. I'm not talking just to you, right? I'm just talking in general, right? So it's just doing without programming, courses, resources, books. They're useless, right? You have to sit and build things, right? You have to fail, and then you have to fix it. You break things, you fix things. It's like a sport. As I made that video today, it's no different than trying to learn how to play football by watching, right? You need to get that ball, get on a playground and play football, right? Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So a lot of this stuff actually looks really good. It's not disgusting at all. I think. So we do the validation here. We throw if it fails. And then at this point, we have passed the validation. At least the images are of the right extension, meme type, whatever you pronounce it, size. So we've passed that, and then we start trying to upload them. And if we fail, then we have this false impression of a transactional type of thing. We just remove the ones that were already uploaded, and then we fail to the UI with an error, right? Does anyone else have any questions? Any from the new viewers? Especially if you're new, if you have anything to ask, please do so. I'm very happy to answer if I know, of course. Meta Peng, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Can you show a test case where uploading would fail? Well, the thing is, so the validation, it's so if you mean strictly uploading, like literally we have started uploading and it failed, that can happen, let's say, due to outrage of the Cloudflare service, right? So here we're uploading this to Cloudflare images, right? So that can be a user interrupted the upload, or it can be some things. We can, of course, manually throw an error, right? But in general, this, if you reach this point, it shouldn't fail, right? So at this point, we anticipate that the actual file upload succeeds, right? But now again, if their service fails, whatever, then that's where potentially. So if you get to this code, so if you pass this point of validation and you get here, then technically in most cases things should not fail or will not fail, right? Yeah. And the only thing basically that I hate here is this. This is useless. And where am I instantiating this? Cloudflare images. Give me 2 seconds. Create thought. Seriously, like, ah, I see. Okay. So I have this image service. Okay. Sure. All right. So this is our service, right? And essentially the problem with this is that, yeah, I would like to maybe print, yeah. Let me just, give me a second. So what I'm actually gonna do here, this is a singleton now, right? So what I'm actually gonna do here, so we are catching stuff here, try and catch, right? So if we throw from here, we're gonna catch it in here, which means we would, no, not really. All right, so let's actually, so we do the promise all, we do this, then I'm doing object values here. And we await for this. And what? And actually, it's called remove, not delete. So that's why. So, yeah. And what does this do? So, yeah, so this would basically throw an Axios error. So this is a bit useless, right? Firefox is a very good browser, yeah, definitely. Catch delete error. What would we do here? What would I want to do if this fails? We definitely want to catch it. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is this. I'm not going to be exporting a singleton. I'm just going to export a class, and this should now fail. Drop database. So, and then what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go here. So let's say Cloudflare images. I'm going to say const image service. New Cloudflare images. I'm going to say app. Then over here, I'm going to say, Yes, that's what I'm gonna do here. This is my decorator. I basically have a decorator, right, that I created. It's called send error. And I use that with my Grafana, right? So all of the errors that I've set up with Loki, Prometheus, and Grafana, right? They are basically sent using this decorator, right? So all of this stuff that we get here, so let's say past all the errors that we had in the system past 12 hours, so all of those are basically sent by using this decorator, right? So I have a decorator called send error that logs the actual error and then just responds with a status code and then the error itself, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Yeah. And then where else have we been using? So yeah, if I go to upload avatar, I just have to change this as well so we don't fuck stuff up. Here I have Cloudflare client. So where am I importing this? Yeah, here. So we're gonna say Cloudflare images. Let's say here const image service is something like that, right? Thank you very much for the follow, guys. Appreciate it. Let me just go to localhost, just make sure we didn't mess up. We didn't introduce regression with uploading an avatar, right? Let's just make sure we didn't fuck this up. All right, we didn't, so that's good. Where is this image service? Yeah, here, okay. You can go and sign up. I mean, if you're asking in the context of generally what this stream is about, this stream is about that. Actually, do I want to log this though? Yeah, actually, I think it would be actually pretty good to log this as well. At least those exceptions that we don't know that can happen, right? So we don't want to log this sort of stuff because I don't care. I only care that this stuff, that the users see this stuff. But if we manage to get here, then some logic in here must have failed, and that we want to have in our error logging, right? Yeah, I think that's great. That's pretty good. Let's go to our database. Let me just go to thoughts. I'm just gonna nuke them all from Postgres. And then I'm gonna go over here. So this is a test of images. And another one. Ah, shit, it's the same one. Fuck that. Let's add another one. Whatever. Beautiful. Okay. That's great. That's beautiful. Okay, good. That's good. I think, yeah, I'm actually happy with what we've done today. We cleaned it up from the last night. We need to write unit tests for those utilities. We're gonna do that tomorrow. Just yeah, just for the utilities. I don't actually care about other things. Blem, likewise, man. I'm gonna go now as well. I'm gonna round up in 1 minute. Actually, in fact, let's round up now as well. It's midnight here, so I need to go to work in like 7 hours. So yeah. Well, what is to say? Bunch of you tonight, bunch of new followers, bunch of new people finding the stream. That's always nice. It's good to meet all of you guys. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you had fun. If you did, please follow me and check out my YouTube channel and sign up on the platform if you wish. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. yeah, I'm almost here every night. So if you want to hang out and learn some new stuff and teach me some stuff, please come by. Let's spend some time together here and yeah, stay well. Do something good for yourselves, and I'll catch you guys up tomorrow. Have a great one, and sleep well, or have a great day wherever you are. Peace out, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Cheers. Bye.